But 2 weeks ago, we set the table for the next couple months of this show with the formation of arguably the most underrated faction in wrestling history. That's right, I'm talking about the Dangerous Alliance, led by Paulie Dangerously. You all know who he is. He's still doing his thing with the WWE, with the Bloodline, the wise man, if you will. But back in these days, he was leading this amazing group with Rick Rude. You had the Enforcers, who we knew as Arn and Larry Zbyszko. You had Steve Austin, Bobby Eaton, and they officially formed November 23rd, 1991 on the edition of World Championship Wrestling. And 2 weeks ago, we showed you that clip. But during Paulie's 5-minute promo, he indicated that you, Arn, and Bobby Eaton will be teaming together to bring the tag team titles back to the Dangerous Alliance. So that's where we're going to begin today's discussion. Bobby Eaton is regarded, like yourself, Arn, as one of the best tag team wrestlers ever to lace up the boots. Call it what you want. The short list, the top 10, the Mount Rushmore, I don't care. Eaton and Anderson occupy that space, okay? Whether it's with Dennis Condrey, Stan Lane, the Midnight Express, you guys always delivered, capturing multiple championships throughout the 80s and in the early 90s. But with Cornette as the mouthpiece, the Midnights and they drew money wherever they went. They elevated all the tag teams. But you did the same thing, buddy, with the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, with Tully, with here with the Enforcers, as we've talked about. But here we go. It's you and Bobby Eaton. How excited are you to finally be able to work as a tag team with your longtime best friend, Bobby Eaton?
Well, before we go another step forward, you better include Medusa.
Good catch. I like it. That's
toughest chick of her era.
Yes, you're right.
And I don't want to get kicked in the back of the head because we didn't mention her, because she was a valuable part of that group as well. So now moving forward to Bobby Eaton, you talk about a dream team.
Yeah.
Tag matches, myself and Bobby Eaton, even if I say it myself, that's there's some knowledge there, I would think.
Do you remember, so Dusty's the booker at this point. Is this I'm assuming it's a Dusty call to say, hey, let's transition you away from Larry and have you and Bobby do your thing for a while. Do you remember about how this all came together at all?
Yeah, I think once the idea probably was this. I'm just guessing. But once you form that big group like that and you put all those different variables in, it could have very well been Bobby and Steve, or it could have been myself and Steve, or it could have been Rude and Steve. I think at that point, by adding, because he added all those pieces on one promo, you know, it was when I saw it, I went, damn, is that Russian, or is that just like dropping an atom bomb instead of a 500-pound bomb? You know what I mean? It went nuclear in about 5 minutes. So I think it would have been one of those deals that he went, you know, let's try him and Bobby, see how that works.
Well, I think, too, as you look back, obviously we're looking back, sitting here recounting history. But again, as I said, you and Bobby, both well-known tag team specialists. So to be all part of that group, it's like, hey, you know, Dusty was geniusing and said, just makes total sense, you know?
That was one of them geniusing his ass off. He really was, because, and we look back on it now, it slaps me in the face every week since we've been on this part of history, you know, the Dangerous Alliance. I keep looking at that cast of characters and I go, my God, just seeing where everyone's career went.
Yeah.
You know, had that just had a little more time devoted to it, wow, who knows where that could have went.
And, buddy, that's why you see a lot of our listeners, a lot of the fans, ad-free show guys, everybody that listens to the show, I've seen comments and everything that just they were massive fans for the Dangerous Alliance. And wish that it could have, exactly to what you're saying, just based on the talent, the assembly of talent that they had. And, you know, you go on, you move on, you have the NWOs and this and that. But talk about a faction with the mouthpiece of Paul, you know, Paul E. God, you're not going to get much better than that. You got the heavies, the technical wrestlers, the tag team, you know, guys, you have an unbelievable group.
Yeah, you're not kidding. It's mind-boggling.